Matt here, Holub Project. Hey, I got something behind us. 4L80E. We're going to do a teardown on it. This was a customer's, got delivered, and it leaks out of the front pump. So we're going to try and figure out why. I'll include a video here. Of what he sent me. It kind of looked like pan gasket. He tightened them up. Looked like O-ring behind the pump. So I don't know. We'll dig in and we'll find out what's going on here. You know, sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug, as they say. This time I'm the windshield. Or no, I'm the bug. This time I am the bug. Let me get you set up and we'll tear this thing apart. Alright, so I've got our pan bolts loose. I've got our pump bolts loose. Let's go ahead and dive right in. 7 pump bolts. I don't see anything with the O-rings, but we'll replace them anyhow. Let me zip these bolts off. Pan's nice and clean. Filter, nice and clean. Torque converter lockup O-ring coming off. We'll undo the electronics here. Pop that off of there. And then we'll try and get the valve body off now. The thought is here that there might be a crack in the case up around here, and you can kind of tell why the thought is from that video that we sent, or I showed you. Pop that out of there. That's your manual pressure switch right here. Okay, and we'll let the wiring harness dangle. Got one more 10. There we go, there's the 8s. We got the 8s now. Take the valve body off, we'll set it over here to the side. Have some check balls here now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. That's all that's required for this build. Your builds may be different. Second band apply piston here for your coasting. 40mm Torx, we'll pull that out. Someone must have been eating their Wheaties. That someone obviously was myself. Don't you fall in there. Okay, now we'll flip it upright. I'll examine this rubber seal. That looks good. We'll replace it though. What an idiot. Do you see what I see? Missing the pump seal. Maybe I should just quit. That's awfully embarrassing. Let's go ahead and tear the rest of it down. Overdrive. Actually, that would be your coast clutch, I'm sorry. I was looking at this. This is overdrive, that's 4th gear. This is your coast clutch and sprag that I just took out before the overdrive. This here is your forward clutch set. Right below that is direct. Second gear band for slow down. Slow down and holding it in gear. Your next is going to be your intermediates down here. Let me pop them out. That's the upgraded snap ring there that Transgo sells, but in all reality, you can use a 90 thousandths to 104 thousandths 727. The old Chrysler transmission. And then below that is just going to be the rear half of the trans case. So you have, well, let me get you in here. So below that area there is all your gear set planetaries for low reverse etc. There really isn't any clutches there. Everything that houses clutches is laying here on the table. So let's take a look at them. Everybody makes mistakes. Unfortunately, or fortunately, this was one where the gentleman is extremely understanding. We've worked together before, multiple times. He's a very stand-up guy, and has a nice little business down there southwest of me. This is 4th gear, and this thing doesn't even have 1 single mile on it. It has run time, but no miles. But we're just gonna tear it apart for the sake of a video. Like I said, this is the direct drum here that we're in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clutches. No, I'm sorry. That was forward. Forward drum. 5 clutches in forward. And they're all just absolutely perfect. They're fluid soaked, and they're nice dark green color still. Go over here. This is the direct drum. Six clutches in this one with the upgraded piston. So there's that teardown. What a deal. Can't believe I did that. That was silly. So here we are back with another Holub project first. Just in case we aren't 100% certain that O-ring is the issue of why the transmission is leaking, we can check it for cracks. Let's do that. Here, take a look at this kit. So what we have here is, what do they call this? Dynaflux. This is kind of like Magnaflux, only a different company here. It comes in a 3-part system. We're going to do some dye penetrant testing. We've got some cleaner. We've got the penetrant, and then you've got the developer. The first step that we're going to do is we're going to make sure that transmission case where we want to test it is absolutely clean with this stuff. I'm sure you could use probably, let's say, acetone if you didn't have any of this cleaner. I don't believe there's any substitute for your dye or for the developer. But let's go ahead and walk through this and kind of see what we got to do, huh? So, first things first, I made a cardboard plate here because I don't want to clean up any more than I have to. But let's just say our suspect area is through this area here, and maybe around the seal. I cleaned this up as best I could with brake clean. Let's go ahead and hit it with this Dynaflux cleaner. We're going to get you right up close and personal with this thing here. So this cleaner, I imagine, we're just going to go ahead and... Ooh, that dries fast. Going to get the not so clean areas maybe, and then we'll wipe off the rest with a lint-free towel. Kind of get down in the areas that we're looking to get. We've got this thing pretty clean already. Like I said, our suspect areas are down here in the corners. We want to get our nooks and crannies. Around here I didn't quite get as good, but we can certainly act on that with our cleaner here. That stuff definitely does not smell like brake clean. Okay, we're gonna let that dry for the recommended period of time, which I think is about 5 minutes. Just enough to, let it evaporate away. We've got the white glove test here. We're pretty clean. Maybe I'll give it one more round. Okay. We've been drying for a while now. I'd say we're probably 5 minutes into the drying process of that stuff. So let's go ahead and hit it with the penetrant. Once we do this, we'll sit and let that soak in, and then we'll wipe off any remaining. So we're just gonna go ahead and go around this area here, hitting these corners, hit across the top, and go around here, and see what we end up with. Okay, so what that's going to do, that's going to soak into any voids that we may have. Let's see here. Hold 6 to 12 inches away. Spray. Let's see. Allow 1 to 30 minutes before removing surface penetrant, depending on the suspected crack. So if you're suspecting a very light crack, I'm betting you're going to let it soak longer. If you're suspecting a deep crack, well then it shouldn't take very long to show up. So let's go ahead and wait for that. Let her soak into all these crevices around here, and then we'll wipe it off. I would bet we could get away with like a 7-minute soak time. One thing I'd like to point out, if you start to see these bubbles, that means your surface isn't clean enough. Down here we're okay. So that's what we're looking for. But yeah, if you're not clean, you're gonna bubble up just like a freshly waxed car. All right. Our soak time is upon us here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a lint-free rag. I use these microfibers because you can get them for like next to nothing anymore, or they used to be expensive back in the day. We're just going to go ahead and wipe off what's left here, and then we're going to go ahead and dampen the rag with the cleaner and then wipe it again. So should be able to just give it a nice wipe in here. Comes off pretty easy. And this stuff should have soaked in everywhere that there was a crack. The only thing I'm kind of concerned about is the porous condition of the transmission case here. But I think using some dead reckoning, we'll be able to figure out pretty easily what what may be a crack and what may not be. So mean, it'd be pretty obvious if everything all looks uniform. You know, we're looking for anything that stands out at us and hits us right in the face. And then, hell, we may even end up painting the transmission case this color. I don't know if our customer's down with that. He's a pretty cool guy, but pinkish red transmissions aren't for everybody. Okay. Now we're just going to use this corner. Maybe a little screwdriver to help us along here, get down in the crack. Okay, looking pretty good. Okay, now we'll get our cleaner and we'll dampen the rag with it, and we'll wipe off the remaining. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to hose it down like brake clean, because then you'll wash away any of the goodness that you've done. So here we go. Well, since this stuff evaporates so quickly, we'll do a little bit at a time here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I'll bring you back. All right, here we are. We're back at it. We're on step number 3 with the developer. Got to shake that up until the BB rattles around. Get any good stuff that's in there floating around, you know, mixed in thoroughly. And then we'll go ahead and we'll lay this in. Light strokes, 10 inches away or so. What we're seeing happen here is the developer is pulling the dye back out of the casting, but if there were cracks here where that dye had settled in and seeped in, you'd see a distinct line. Let me hit this thing with another coat. Okay, we're going to let this stuff take action here, but you can see what's going on here is it's only pulling out the stuff that we didn't exactly get wiped all the way away. But you can tell there's no bright red lines like where a crack would be. Like suspect one that would be down in there. Might think that one would be there or here or around the bolt holes. We're gonna let this set a little bit more and then we'll come back and look at it once more. All right, so here we are. Test is complete. No cracks. We can see there isn't any distinct cracks showing here, or there, or there. They would show up looking something like that. Now, what that is that's just dye that I didn't get wiped off, but that would be what that would show up like. Okay, so case is good. We're gonna put this thing back together, and when we get it all put back together, I'm gonna spray off that stuff there. So success on the test. So just goes to show you, everybody makes mistakes. Don't let it get you down. Pick yourself up. Keep on moving. We're just going to go ahead and get this transmission cleaned back up. Take it through the parts washer again. Make sure that it's good and right this time, and then I'll have to deliver it down down south. So things happen. Welcome to the Hole Up Project. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next Friday.